Tell me one good reason why I should try continuing to fight it.
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So it's been a while since I've done a tech video. Yeah, sorry about that. Still not sure when I'll be getting a camera, hopefully very soon. So this is actually a video that I've been wanting to do for a really long time now and don't know why I didn't do it in the past. But here it is, the mobile gaming setup. Now, most of you may think that since it's a mobile gaming setup means a gaming laptop, right? No! But actually, the gaming device here is your smartphone. And of course, I'm not talking about the casual tap and swipe games that you find in the Play Store or App Store if you're on iOS, but the games and emulators that can actually satisfy the hardcore gamer in you and give you a feeling of nostalgia or feels. And I would say this is kind of an alternative if you're part of the population who's still waiting for memory and graphics card prices to settle down. So first is the smartphone. If you have the latest flagship smartphone, a flagship from a year or two, or a smartphone with at least a Snapdragon 600 series and the equivalent of those processors on the MediaTek and Exynos side, then you're pretty much covered. But if you're someone who has a budget phone with not so good performance, maybe a Snapdragon 400, then you will have a hard time in running the apps and games that I'm gonna mention later on. Although if you are someone who's planning on buying and upgrading their current smartphones, then I'll leave some of my recommendations in the description of this video. Now, while basically you can do this with only your smartphone, here are some things that I would consider as must-haves. Although if you already have a Gamepad which is compatible with Android, power bank and earbuds or headphones for your smartphone, then you can skip to the timestamp in the description. So first is the Gamepad, the iPega Tomahawk, which I've been using for half a year now. So the layout is the same as an Xbox controller, including two sets of shoulder buttons. And this is probably the only wireless gamepad that I'm currently aware of, which is really cheap at 700 pesos, has great compatibility, so compatible with Android, iOS, PC, and Mac. Really good battery life, so you'll be able to get 14 hours of usage from a single charge based on my usage, even though they claim up to 16 hours of battery life, which is still really good. And it charges through micro USB. Little to no latency based on my usage again. So this connects through Bluetooth, by the way, and yeah, didn't notice any significant latency issues while playing, and has a built-in smartphone holder that supports smartphones up to 7 inches. Although it is a bit flimsy, but once you put your smartphone in, it's all good. Lastly, build quality is it feels kind of cheap. It feels a bit hollow, but okay for the most part. I've actually dropped this a couple of times and it's still working fine. But if you want a better overall build and don't mind spending more, then go for the Gamesir G4S. Next up is the power bank, which is actually a necessity, so if you don't have one, then here are two of my recommendations. Asus ZenPower with a 10,050 mAh battery and the Romo Sense 4P with a 10,400 mAh battery. Both really cheap at 500 to 700 pesos, but are reliable, really good build quality, and has the safety features you need from a power bank. So here's how you decide between the two. If you want a more compact power bank about the size of a credit card and just 1-inch thick, go for the ZenPower. But if you want an LED display which tells you the exact amount of power you have left, 2 charging ports, and you don't mind it being a bit bigger, then go for the Sense 4P. The ZenPower only has 4 LED indicators for the battery. And some of you might be saying, why not the Romo Sense 6P, which has a 20,000 mAh battery and just costs 800 to 900 pesos? Well, considering that you do deplete the 20,000 milliamps in a day, then it takes a whole day to charge it. So yeah, 10,000 milliamps is more than enough for anyone, and it just takes 6 to 8 hours to charge. And lastly are the earbuds or headphones, depending on your preference. The JBL T450s, really great value headphones, lightweight, bass is a little punchy for my taste, but for the most part, sound is on point. And if you want the earbuds equivalent of this, then go for the JBL T110s. Of course, if you're part of the population whose smartphones don't have headphone jacks anymore, then I recommend the Huawei A920BLs. Although take note that if you're someone who's planning on playing the whole day, then you will get an average of 5 hours of use from a single charge, but that's where your power bank comes into play. And now for the games and emulators. For the games that you'll find on the Play Store, I'll give you guys a list of games that supports a gamepad, but the games I recommend are Asphalt 8, Real Racing 3, Modern Combat 5, and Dead Trigger 2. A lot of fun to play and they're all free. First off is the website where you can download pretty much every game for any emulator, which is totally legal. Now, the emulator I mainly use is the PPSSPP, a PSP emulator obviously. It's free, and after installing, I recommend going with the settings. Assign the buttons on the gamepad to the corresponding commands and you're all set. copy the ISO files of the games you want to the folder PSP inside the folder game. PPSSPP is definitely the best PSP emulator around. Also has a PC version if you want to play PSP games on your PC, and take note that it doesn't support every PSP games as some games are laggy, unplayable, and at times just fail to open. Now that's the emulator I mainly use, but if you guys want other emulators, then there's the EPSXE, which is a PS1 emulator, My Boy, which is a Game Boy Advance emulator, and so much more you can choose from, which I haven't tried yet, to be honest. So yeah, with all that, you have yourself a really solid mobile gaming setup, and the only thing you really have to charge is your phone and the wireless earbuds if your phone doesn't have a headphone jack. So I don't know if you're someone who can deplete the already solid battery life of your gamepad, but if you are that person, for the power bank, go for the Romo Sense 4P with 2 charging ports. And lastly, if you are playing outside, guys, please be aware of your surroundings unless you want your mobile gaming setup gone, just like that, or you have a death wish or something. And I think that's gonna do it. All the things I recommended will be in the description of this video. And if you guys have any questions, just leave them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Leave a like, dislike if you feel like you have to. And if this is your first time to the channel, then consider subscribing. As always, bookmark and use my Lazada affiliate link when buying at Lazada. Donate to my Patreon if you guys don't mind to support the channel. And follow me on Twitter for updates and announcements. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.